Hi guys, I wanted to read to you the story for this week called Talking Around the World. Yesterday was a special day for Kate. She was going to visit her grandfather. She always liked going to her grandfather's house. He lived a long way from town. It was a beautiful ride through the mountains to get there. Kate's grandfather lived in a wonderful old house. It looked a lot like the gingerbread house in one of Kate's books. It was filled with interesting books and strange old objects. There were old pictures of people in Kate's family on the walls. There was one room in the house that Kate had never seen. Her grandfather kept it locked all the time. He told Kate one day that the room was very special. It had things in it that would break easily. When Kate stood by the door, she could hear strange noises coming from the room. She had no idea what was in the room. Now it was time. Grandpa was going to show Kate the special room. She was so excited that she could hardly sit still in the car. The ride seemed like it was taking forever. Finally, they arrived at her grandfather's house. Her mother and grandfather talked for a little while. Then her mother left. "Well, Kate, what would you like to do first?" her grandfather asked with a twinkle in his eye. "Oh, Grandpa, you know what I want to do first," she said. "I want to see the secret room." Grandpa took Kate's hand. They walked up the stairs to the special room. Grandpa unlocked the door. He pushed it open. The room was filled with strange boxes. There were lots of wires and lights. In the middle of all the boxes was a counter. There was a big microphone on it. Everything looked so strange to Kate. Grandpa and Kate sat down near the microphone. He flipped some switches and twisted some knobs. Then Kate heard more noises and some beeps. Grandpa said some letters and numbers into the microphone. All of a sudden, Kate heard a voice say, "Hello, George. Is your granddaughter with you?" Kate was so surprised. "Grandpa, Grandpa," she said. "Who is that?" "This is Mr. Markov," Grandpa said. "He is a teacher. He wants to talk to you." Grandpa pulled her chair near the microphone. "Kate, are you there?" the voice said. "Yes," Kate answered. "Your grandfather told me you were interested in other countries." "Oh, yes," answered Kate. "I would like to know about all the places in the world." Mr. Markov laughed. "I can't tell you about all the countries, but I can tell you about mine. I live in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine." Kate and Mr. Markov talked about Ukraine for several minutes. Kate asked a lot of questions. Mr. Markov told her many interesting things. Then he said she should call him on her grandfather's radio any time she was there. Kate's grandfather thanked Mr. Markov and said some more letters and numbers, then turned off all the dials and switches. "Grandpa, what is all this? How could I talk to someone in another country? What are all these switches and dials? What are all these boxes? Will I be able to do this again?" Kate was so excited. Kate's grandfather handed her a book. The title of it was, "What's a Ham?" "I know what a ham is, Grandpa," Kate said. "It's a kind of meat." "Yes, it is," he answered. "A ham is something else, too. Why don't you read the book and find out about hams like me?" Katie went down to the living room. She sat on the sofa and read the book. She found out that a ham is another name for an amateur radio operator. There are thousands like Grandpa all over the world. They built radios to talk to each other. They help get warning messages out when there's a disaster. Sometimes their radios are the only way messages can be sent from one place to another. And her grandfather's radio was the only way for Kate to make a new friend halfway around the world. Okay, so that is the story for this week. I'm going to read the questions to you, and then we'll post this, and hopefully it will help you finish your work. So the first question in talking around the world. Number 1, who was Kate going to visit? Her aunt, her cousin, her brother, or her grandfather? Number 2, Kate's grandfather lived in a town. A is false, B is true. Number 3. There was something in Grandfather's house that Katie had never seen before. Was it a room, a suitcase, a movie theater, or a closet? Number 4. To whom did Katie talk in the special room? Number 5. What do amateur radio operators do? Number 6. Which one of these was not in the special room? A microphone, cell phone towers, boxes with dials and switches, and D, some wires. Which one was not in the room? Number 7. Is there another name for an amateur radio operator? Is it a sounder, a ham, and not a dragon, a zebra, or a junker? All right, one more question. What was the name of the book Kate's grandfather gave to her? A, What's a Ham? B, Hamburgers and Hot Dogs?
No.
Shh. C, Green Eggs and Ham? Or D, Ham and the 4 Kittens? Alright guys, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, message me on Google Classroom. Ryan, sit up. And I'll read the next one for next week. Miss you guys. Have a great week.